Welcome to the Artistic Mystical Muse channel. I'm Nancy, your Mystical Muse, and I am abuzz with information today about my third deck. I hate to call it a deck because it's not a large deck of cards, but it's the Bee Oracle cards. And they have been divinely inspired. I had designed two other decks, one on my own, one with the help of my spirit guides, and I knew I needed a third deck. So when I asked for assistance, I got this download of bees, and I thought, oh, perfect, because bees are not only one of my totem animals. I grew up with bees, honeybees on our farm. We had hives for a time, and then they've just continued to be wonderful visitors and allies here on our farm, my family's farm. So the bee cards are interesting because when Spirit gave me the downloads of the words and phrases to use, they were very specific. It only came to 44 cards. And I thought, well, that's not necessarily the size of a standard playing deck, let alone tarot deck, anything like that. So I waited and I started creating, and then I realized why. The 44 is a master number, and it talks about stability, humanity, those kind of things. And then the bees themselves, the artwork came very quickly as well. Or at least the choice of it, beside the bees, we have daisies here for purity and innocence, and then we have the honeycomb. So the honeycomb's interesting because they're made of hexagons, and they're almost a perfect shape in that they maximize the space and the amount of honey that can be stored. But the 6 also talks about balance and giving and receiving. It also speaks of community. So the number 6 is also one of the main sacred geometry shapes that's used in all of the natural world. 6s can be found. The hexagon is also part of one of the shapes, key shapes in our DNA. So as I'm creating this deck and I'm putting together some information about it, it became very clear why my guides wanted certain images, certain numbers for this set of cards. Bees are about productivity, community. They are, in some cultures, like the Oracle of Delphi, it was said that the site was built by bees, and the high priestess was considered the mother, the embodiment of the divine mother, or she was also called the mother bee. Her priestesses who helped serve her also had a name. It was actually Melissa, and it was referred to as, that was the word for bee. So these guys have been around a long time and have been revered in many cultures for not only what they produce, which is the honey, but also just what they stood for. The other thing that I found interesting about the bee talks about miracles, in that aerodynamically, a bee technically should not be able to fly, especially if you look at a bumblebee. They're those fat little guys. They aren't proportioned really correctly to be able to do the flight that they have. So they talk about how bees persevere. So there's that aspect, but also that the fact that they can fly and do this is the miracle itself. It's said that if a bee buzzes around you, that there's a miracle coming your way as a totem animal. They're messengers for a variety of things. They're also psychopomps. It said they help escort the new souls down to planet Earth, and then when it's time to go, when they ascend and pass on, that the bees escort those souls back to the upper realms. So the front of the card looks like this, obviously. The back of the card has a little bee here with, I picked it because although it's honeycomb, it also looks like a flower. And they talked about, my guides, about it helping to pollinate and create the flower of life, all things in life. So most of these have used the word bee in it. There are a few that my guides asked me to use. It says, do your part for the hive, that are more like just a regular message. So I'm going to shuffle these, and we're going to see what messages Spirit has for us today. But the information of where you can find my deck is down below. It's through my thegamecrafter.com. I have a store there, but if you put in keywords or just go to the link, it'll take you directly to the page where you can order this deck. So the deck is predominantly positive. There isn't anything about getting over negativity. So depending on what you want thought for the day, you're using it in your own reading or someone else's, it would be a helpful tool. Be joyous. Let's see what else Spirit has to say. Spirit makes the cards fly out. I don't pick them, so we see what messages they have for us. Be a busy bee. So be productive in life, yes? Be clear. Clear with your intentions, clear with your words, clear with your thoughts. Be of service. So those are your messages for this bee deck. But I hope that you enjoyed it. If, like I said, the information's down below. There's a giveaway also down below, so please sign up, and we'll see you next time. Take care.